Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be another conspiracy theories that I'm too scared to believe video / conspiracy theories that I just 100% believe in, allegedly. That's why I call this video I'm too scared to believe in them, because if these theories are true, and I do allegedly believe they are, then that would just mean a lot of bad things. Like, a lot of these theories are really scary, and the prospects of them being real is pretty terrifying overall. Without further ado, let's get into the different theories. All right, one theory that I really do believe, this one I'm like less so scared of because I think it's actually hilarious, is that when Melania Trump is often seen, it's actually a body double and not actually Melania. I think this is just true. Like, at this point, I feel like that makes so much sense. I don't care what your beliefs are politically. You have to agree that Donald Trump is one of the ugliest people you've ever seen in your entire life. And if you disagree with that, there's honestly something wrong with you. There just is. So do I believe that Melania Trump loves Donald Trump? No. Why would she? Like, I'm just being so for real. I don't think that that's actually her half of the time. She just always looks like she hates him. And I know she's talked about this and she's like, yes, like, people always say that I'm unhappy in my marriage. Like, that's not true. But what are you gonna say? Realistically, if people stay with people in relationships that they're unhappy in for several different reasons, whether it's money, whether it's to keep up appearances socially, for example, I think Hillary Clinton probably would have divorced Bill Clinton after the Monica Lewinsky scandal had she not anticipated herself running for president one day. And I have always said that. I've always believed that that's true. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because I just definitely believe the conspiracy that sometimes she has a body double stand in for her and she doesn't even barely live at the White House. I just know she's pissed off that he even wanted to run for president again. Like, she's so mad. Tell me she's not. But the theory is basically that there is a fake Melania Trump body double, and I have always thought that this made so much sense, not just for her, but I think a lot of celebrities do this. Like, oh man, one of my favorite videos ever is the leaked audio of Melania Trump complaining about Christmas decorations.
I'm working like my ass off.
I know.
Christmas stuff that, who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Yeah, but
correct?
100%. You have no choice.
And then I do it, and I say that I'm working on Christmas, planning for the Christmas, and they said, oh, what about the children? That they were separated. Give me a break.
That just cracks me up, I gotta say. But yeah, like no shit. Let's be realistic. Although, to be fair, we have seen a lot of hot women be with very hideous, ugly men. So it's kind of a phenomenon. So maybe she does like him. I don't know. But I will say I have always believed, even if she doesn't like him regardless, this conspiracy theory still rings true. Because I don't think that she's like that interested in being the first lady. So I feel like for a lot of these events, it would just be a Melania lookalike in sunglasses. I don't think it's a clone or anything that dramatic. But I do think that a lot of celebrities probably hire body doubles in sunglasses when they don't want to be perceived by the paparazzi. And I think that's a fair point. Does it point to the fact that Melania Trump actually hates her husband? Like, not directly. Either way, I think that the conspiracy that she hates being in the White House is definitely true. I don't care what she says. There's no way that she likes it. There's just no way. The Christmas audio, like, how can you even... No. I believe that she's a body double most of the time. When she's seen out in public with sunglasses on, I don't feel like that's actually Melania, but let me know your guys' thoughts on it, because, I don't know, I believe it. Speaking of, a lot of people believe that the election was actually rigged. I think this conspiracy theory happens literally every 4 years, no matter who wins. There's just theories about how the election is rigged. I've been seeing theories about the election being rigged all over TikTok. I don't know if I believe them, because frankly, I don't want to. Because if that is true, again, no matter which way it was rigged in whoever's favor it was, regardless, an election should probably not be rigged. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad, but I do think it's possible. 100%. Kind of piggybacking off of the idea that the government is actually just rigged as a whole, which I do, again, believe is a strong possibility. I just don't like thinking too hard about it, because it genuinely creeps me out and scares the hell out of me. Because theoretically, if we cannot trust our government, which you can't. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? I don't like it. And I think it all is interconnected to police departments and several different things that have to do with like human trafficking and different, oh my God. I think the concept of there being a rigged election just opens a door of other terrifying conspiracy theories about the government and their involvement with certain nefarious things. Just opens, and I believe a lot of those theories. Like, for example, I actually really believe that there are a lot of police involvements with certain true crime cases that have yet to be solved. I've always said this about JonBenet Ramsey specifically, but as well as Tupac, Biggie. All of their deaths are solvable in my opinion, and none of them, like, they're all technically unsolved. And I just think that's insane. And I do think with JonBenet Ramsey specifically, a lot of documents went missing, whatever that means. And it just makes me feel like the police department is covering up something bigger. And that is when you get into like the tinfoil hat, scary conspiracy, is that the thought that there is terrible things happening, like very terrible things happening, that any amount of money can just it could go away. What's honestly terrifying to me is just the fact that there are so many different instances of very horrible things that could be happening within this country / this world. I don't know, it kind of goes beyond bounds, where there is a certain price that can be set to have these things disappear. And people who have extreme money and extreme power can get away with kind of anything in my opinion. I don't know. That is such a scary thought to have, but it just has been proven time and time again. I'm not gonna lie, I really do believe that this is true, allegedly. Again, it just makes you think of Jeffrey Epstein, for example. Like, how did that go undetected for so long? Because he has money and power. I think that truly the only time that these big celebrities or big billionaires get in trouble is when it cannot be denied anymore by, like, it was exposed by the media or something. That's the only time I think that people get repercussions for it. If you have a certain amount of money and power, you can kind of get away with anything, and that is really fucking scary. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very dark concept, and I feel like it ties into the concept of having something like where you think you're in a democracy, you're voting for something, but then your vote doesn't actually matter. And I'm not saying that's true. Vote like your vote matters, because it does. But, you know, there is conspiracy that things can be rigged. And the truth of the matter is that we would never know if it was or not. Like, we would never know. And that is kind of the part that scares me a lot. Because I truly just think, again, with a certain amount of money and power, there are people getting away with very terrible things. Jeffrey Epstein was getting away with the most terrible things for years. P. Diddy was getting away with the most terrible things for years. Again, that's not a coincidence that they were getting away with that. And I've always said that I believe that somebody on the Boulder, Colorado Police Department was involved with JonBenet Ramsey's death, because what I think happened was that, allegedly, I do think her father was involved with a child SA ring, and I do think that something happened that ended up killing her. And maybe it was an accident, I don't know. But either way, I do believe that somebody within the police department was involved, because there were documents that went missing. Where are they going? What do you mean? Just, again, this is like a case that just so should have been solved, that it is pretty perplexing to me that it's not. And I don't think, and the only reason I think that the JonBenet Ramsey case is unsolved is because they don't want to solve it. The police department does not want to solve that case. Or somebody in the police department. There is some corruption going on there. And I've always said that, and I don't like it. I don't like believing in it. I don't like thinking about it too much, because it really does freak me out, and it, like, really got the tinfoil hat on for that, because you could definitely spiral from, like, realizing that money and power is kind of everything. I think that that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard thing to come to terms with, and realize that, you know, people who have more money and more power are going to continuously get away with doing horrible things, probably worse than you can even imagine. And it's just gonna keep happening because people are shit. I don't know. It's so scary because I like to believe there really are more good people than bad people in the world, and I do think that that's true. But to become so powerful and have so much money, I like billions of dollars, I do think that there is like a cutthroat aspect to that perhaps there is some dark shit there going on. I don't know. This is all alleged. And something else happened recently that made me believe this even more, which is when, I think a couple of weeks ago, 2 teenage girls escaped from the Church of Scientology. I saw this girl who was an ex-Scientologist that talked about it.
A very strange incident occurred outside the Scientology building. 2 girls ran out of the building, were chased by security. This happened just a couple days ago. We've got to talk about it. Over the weekend, 2 teenage girls escaped the Blue Building. They ran to a nearby apartment, knocked on the door, and asked to come inside. Almost immediately, 2 Scientology security guards were dispatched. One of them on a bike, head to toe, uniform, the whole deal. She told the people that lived there a couple of pieces of key information, which we're going to break down in further videos. But first, she told them that she had escaped with her little sister, but that they had grabbed her little sister, and she didn't make it out. She also begged for them not to call the LAPD because she said that Scientology and the LAPD are working hand in hand. There's a special department within the LAPD dedicated specifically to Scientology, and they're very friendly. This isn't news to anybody, but it is news to me that a teenage girl understands this concept. One of the guys who lives in the apartment asks her, like, hey, did you take anything tonight? Like, are you okay? And she did say she took a Prozac. That is also a piece of key information that we're going to break down later. Meanwhile, this girl's father is outside looking for her. She doesn't know it yet, but he's already called the LAPD. They're already involved. The father is actually a pillar in the Latina community down in Los Angeles. The father is a reporter, and he has done lots of public stuff with Scientology over the past few years. A bit of a catch for Scientology, who is really working hard to, dominate Southern California, which means you need to involve the Spanish-speaking community. Now, I don't usually blast people on here, and if you're a private practicing Scientologist, I don't feel like that's my business. Once you go public and you are now disseminating Scientology and trying to get other people to join, that's kind of fair game. Then I think that it's open for criticism and conversation. This picture here shows him posing outside of not one of Scientology's front groups, but the International Association of Scientologists. And I would argue that one doesn't take this picture unless they are truly a Scientologist at heart.
And basically the part to me that is very perplexing about this is the fact that the LAPD is involved and is protecting the Church of Scientology. And again, I have always believed that because where the hell is Shelly Miscavige? Oh my god. Okay, Church of Scientology, please leave me alone. But like, show me proof that Shelly's out there and okay. Where is the proof? And why is the police departments not concerned with it? Because they're working with the Church of Scientology, because they're probably fucking paying them. Allegedly. I don't really enjoy that concept too much when I think really hard about it, because the church has always been something that has felt off to me. The way that they have celebrities involved in the church, obviously like Tom Cruise, but there's so many more than that. John Travolta, Nancy Cartwright, like there's many millionaires and billionaires involved with the Church of Scientology. And they pay a significant amount of money to be a part of that church. What exactly are they paying for? What are they paying for? I don't know. I feel like they're paying for police protection. Allegedly. Don't quote me on it, but I just think when you watch something like a cult get away with it for such a long time, and still getting away with it, even though there have been people who have left said cult and have said, this is a cult and they are doing terrible things, and where's Shelly Miscavige, like Leah Remini, people have spoken out about it and there's still nothing being done. It's because, like, obviously they have their shit protected. That's just, I don't know what else to say. Like, I guess you could just be like, well, maybe the people who came out about Scientology are lying, but I don't think anyone really feels like that. I don't know, but I just think that there is some weird protection about the Church of Scientology, and especially the LAPD, but then also like the Church of Scientology like headquarters is in Clearwater, Florida, so maybe there is something there as well. Either way, I do think that there is some weird protection going on in regards to the church, and I don't know why, and it scares me. It does. And I do think that that goes even further and even more dark, because yes, the Church of Scientology, dark, cults, alleged, all that stuff, but there are human trafficking rings, like, in this world, in this country. And I do believe that there are people who are aware of it, and they are kept protected by who I literally don't know, and I don't like to think too hard about it. But in my head, there has to be somebody protecting these different factions of really nefarious, terrible things happening, because how else have they been getting away with it for such a long time? To me, literally the only answer is that they have protection on the inside, and I have always said this about several different things. Like, yes, it could be small in the sense of a local police department, like the Boulder Police Department, you know, getting rid of some files that could have had significant evidence for the JonBenet Ramsey case. Like, that's small and not insignificant, obviously, but, you know, in a comparison to entire human trafficking rings, the entire Church of Scientology, I just feel like Alex Rousseau, everything is not what it seems. Like, that's how I feel. I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of freaking out. So let's get into some theories that are a little bit less serious, but I still think are true, and I wouldn't love it if they were real. This I would love if it was real, because I hate sports so much, and I really hate sports people. I mean, people who are really into sports. Sorry, I just, like, I don't fucking get it. I do not understand. I have never understood caring about if a sports team wins a damn game. It's not something I'm gonna understand. That's fine. I understand other people care about it. Cool. I think that all sports games are rigged. I didn't even know this was a conspiracy theory until recently. I made a video, and a lot of the comments were like, Michelle, obviously all sports games are rigged. Is that a theory? Because if so, then what the hell are y'all watching? What are y'all betting on? Then what's the actual point? I don't know if I think it's true, but I think it's funny. And I think girlies or boys, whoever, if your ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, situationship, whatever, was a huge sports fan, what if you paid an Etsy witch to put a hex on their favorite sports team? What if? I think that's kind of funny. Mandela effect. I feel like, let's talk about how dumb it is that I believe in it 100%. Sure, theoretically, I don't really know exactly what I think is behind the Mandela effect. I've heard several theories about, you know, the butterfly effect. There's theories about alternate realities, different dimensions, whatever. There's been so many different theories about it as a whole. Personally, I think life as a simulation makes the most sense, but that's just me. But if the Mandela effect is real, that's actually insane, but I'm actually kind of more scared of it not being real, because why the hell, specifically, I love talking about this one because I have not met a person who does not remember the cornucopia Fruit of the Loom logo. Why would we all just imagine a cornucopia? Like, that's so fucking random. Why would we all remember that? Like, what is the logistics behind that? There are none. And that's why I think it's scary, is because it has to be real. Shit. I don't like that. I don't like that either. And another thing that I don't like, that I do think is real, and a lot of people, I know people enjoy and get peace out of this, and if you do, love that for you. Reincarnation. I don't like the concept of reincarnation, but I do believe in it. Just because there is actually evidence of it. Like, so many kids who remember their past lives, the only explanation is that they're lying, and I don't really love that explanation because they're children, and, like, you know, they're not Mary-Kate and Ashley. They're not actors. Like, reincarnation is probably real, and I really don't like it. I really, really, really don't enjoy thinking about that, because it just means a lot for a lot of different things. Like, I don't know. Ew. Oh my god. I hate getting existential about, like, death. That's so really freaky, but thinking about reincarnation makes me like go insane a little bit. On a somewhat, I was gonna say lighter note, but this is pretty dark as well. I do believe that America puts poison in their food. Not literal poison, don't get me wrong, but there is just no two ways about it. If you have been to Europe, you know that the food is just different and it tastes so much cleaner. There are so many chemicals in American food. Honestly, this isn't even a conspiracy at this point. But the thing is that it goes further than just like, obviously McDonald's in the UK versus McDonald's in the US is different. It goes into like ingredients at that point. I think if you cooked a home cooked meal in the US or versus in the UK, it's completely different, one. And two, for some reason, triple the calories in the US. I do not understand this. And I have heard so many different stories of people who have like celiac, like gluten intolerance, and they'll go to Italy and they eat gluten there and are perfectly fine. And that does make me quite suspect about what the US is putting in their food. And I do think that there are some inflammatory substances that are going in there, because I do feel like when you're in Europe, the food is just so much less bloating, and like even the fast food, it's just different. And I don't it scares me a little bit, because I'm just like, why are they doing that? And especially it scares me because it feels unavoidable, because again, even a home cooked meal, like a home cooked meal here feels like going out to dinner in Europe. Like that's kind of like how I would compare it. And then a home cooked meal in Europe feels like, I don't know, you got it straight from the farmer's market. It's kind of insane. The difference is scary. And again, it just freaks me out, because it's like, why would they put that kind of stuff in your food? Kind of connects to big pharma as a whole, which we're not going to get into today because we've got into it so many damn times. But yeah, I do think the pharmaceutical industry is a piece of shit. Like they love scamming. And so yeah, I think your food is meant to make you sicker, fatter, have more problems, so that you need more medicine, which is frustrating overall, because it's also so damn hard to get medicine. Why? This world does not make sense to me. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what conspiracy theories that you 100% believe in. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week. And I will see you guys later. Bye.